before humans understood the brutal rules of the savanna. Before science explained the balance between prey and predator, there already existed a kingdom where every move could decide life or death. In the wild lands of Kenya, among golden plains, immense herds and lurking shadows, the great predators dominate the savanna with strength, patience, and deadly instinct. Welcome to wild Kenya, the kingdom of the great predators of the savanna. Please give us a like and subscribe to the channel to give us more motivation to continue creating quality content. Don't forget to comment below what you thought of the video and tell us where you are watching from so we can chat together. May God bless everyone with health, peace, and love for nature. Let's begin. Under the scorching heat of the dry season, the African lion dominates the open plains of Kenya as the absolute sovereign of the savanna. Its scientific name is Panthera leo, and for thousands of years it has represented power, authority, and survival in Africa. An adult male can exceed 190 kilograms, while his dark mane increases his visual size against rivals and threats. But the lion's true strength does not always lie in an individual, but in the coordination of the entire pride. During the dry season, rivers shrink, grass disappears, and huge groups of herbivores concentrate near the last sources of water. There, lion prides wait for the ideal moment to attack zebras, gazelles, and especially the great migrating wildebeests. Females usually lead the hunt using experience, patience, and collective work to approach without being detected. Their muscular bodies are designed for explosive acceleration, capable of reaching nearly 80 kilometers per hour over short distances. However, the lion cannot maintain that speed for long under the extreme heat of the African savanna. That is why every attack must be fast, coordinated, and executed at the exact moment. Near a shallow river, a herd of wildebeests moves slowly, while dry dust covers the savanna horizon. The lionesses watch from the yellow grass, silently separating to flank the group without alerting the prey. When a young wildebeest becomes isolated, the lionesses accelerate simultaneously and launch the attack from different directions. The hunt ends quickly, because in the dry season, a missed opportunity can mean entire days without food. After the kill, the pride's hierarchy becomes evident around the prey. Dominant males usually eat first, while the females and young individuals wait their turn near the group. the lion's deep roars can be heard from several kilometers away, marking territory and warning other predators. Even hyenas and leopards usually remain cautious when a large pride controls a hunting zone. As a top predator, the lion regulates populations of large herbivores and maintains the natural balance of the African savanna. In the dry lands of Kenya, the African lion represents not just strength, it represents the collective power of a family born to rule the savanna. When Kenya enters the season of fresh grass, the open plains fill with Thompson's gazelles grazing under the golden light. In this immense setting, the cheetah appears like a living arrow, created to turn speed into power. Its scientific name is Acinonyx jubatus, and it is the fastest land mammal on the planet. Over short distances, it can reach nearly 100 kilometers per hour, but only for a few seconds before its body becomes exhausted. Its light body, flexible spine, and long legs function as a perfect acceleration machine over the open grass. The black marks under its eyes reduce the sun's glare and help it keep its gaze fixed on moving prey. Unlike the lion, the cheetah does not dominate through collective strength, but through individual precision and a burst of speed that is almost impossible to match. Among the Thompson's gazelles, it looks for young, distracted individuals or those separated by a few meters from the main group. The cheetah spots a Thompson's gazelle moving away from the group and lowers its body into the fresh grass to fix its target. It moves slowly against the wind, using every ripple of the terrain to approach without revealing its silhouette. When the distance is minimal, it explodes into a lightning run, changes direction with its tail as a rudder, and launches the attack on the gazelle. The hunt is decided in seconds, because if the cheetah fails the first impulse, the heat and fatigue can steal its opportunity. After an intense chase, it must rest before eating, breathing hard while watching for nearby hyenas, lions, and vultures. Its success depends on choosing the terrain well, calculating the distance, and attacking before the entire herd becomes alert. Although fast, the cheetah is vulnerable to stronger predators that can snatch its prey. That is why it usually hunts during the day, when many rivals rest under the shade and the plain belongs for a moment to speed. As a specialized predator, it helps control gazelle populations and keeps natural pressure active on the fastest herbivores. In the green fields of Kenya, the cheetah does not need to roar to be feared. It is enough to see it run to understand its greatness. When the season of abundance reaches the savannas and forests of Kenya, the leopard appears as a silent shadow between tall grass and dark branches. Its scientific name is Panthera pardus, one of Africa's most adaptable and stealthy big cats. Unlike the lion that dominates in a group, or the cheetah that depends on speed, the leopard hunts completely alone. Its muscular and flexible body can exceed 90 kilograms in large males, maintaining a perfect combination of strength and agility. The dark rosettes of its fur break up its body shape among shadows, dry bushes and dust-covered trunks. Thanks to this natural camouflage, the leopard can disappear even when the prey is only a few meters away. Its eyes detect minimal movements in the dark, while its paws advance almost soundlessly over the dry earth. During this season, gazelles, impalas, and small antelopes fill the scrub areas looking for fresh grass and water. The leopard spots a young impala near some bushes and slowly lowers its body until it blends into the vegetation. It moves in absolute silence between dry branches and yellow grass, using every shadow to approach without being discovered. When the distance is perfect, the leopard breaks cover with a sudden explosion and brings down the prey before it can gain speed. The hunt ends quickly because the leopard's success depends on surprising before starting a long chase. After capturing the prey, it uses its powerful jaw and front muscles to drag it into the trees. Even animals heavier than its own body can end up suspended among branches, far from hyenas and other land predators. In the shadows of Kenya, the leopard does not need to dominate the savanna with roars. It is enough for it to disappear into the silence and attack from the darkness. When night covers the plains of Kenya, spotted hyenas appear in the darkness as an untiring patrol of the African savanna. Their scientific name is Crocuta crocuta, and they are one of Africa's most intelligent and resilient social predators. Although often seen as mere scavengers, hyenas are also efficient hunters, capable of bringing down large prey in groups. A dominant female can exceed 70 kilograms and control complex hierarchies within the clan. Their jaws are extremely powerful, capable of crushing thick bones and taking advantage of parts that other predators leave behind. Thanks to this ability, hyenas play a vital role cleaning up animal remains and recycling nutrients within the ecosystem. But behind their strange sounds and haunting laughs lies a complex social organization based on communication and cooperation. Their vocalizations can be heard from several kilometers away, helping the clan gather or locate food opportunities. During the night, the hyenas detect a group of weakened wildebeests near a dry area of the savanna. The clan begins to slowly surround the prey, using constant pressure and coordinated movements to separate the most vulnerable individual. When the wildebeest becomes isolated, several hyenas accelerate together and launch the attack from different angles to wear down its resistance. The hunt ends thanks to the clan's collective pressure, as few prey can resist for long against such a persistent group. In addition to hunting, hyenas also challenge leopards and lions to snatch food when they have a numerical advantage. Even big cats can be forced to abandon a kill if the clan becomes too aggressive and numerous. As predators and scavengers, hyenas maintain the balance of the savanna by eliminating weak animals and utilizing resources that others waste. In the African darkness, spotted hyenas are not mere followers of other hunters. They are an intelligent army that transforms the night into their territory. On the scorching plains of Kenya, a warrior of modest dimensions, but with an iron will emerges, the honey badger. Mellivora capensis is the absolute sovereign of audacity, a creature that has renounced fear to dominate the African savanna. Its robust physiology hides a legendary biological armor, skin 6 millimeters thick that is almost impenetrable to fangs. This dermal layer is extremely loose, allowing it to twist its body to counterattack even if held by the scruff of the neck by a predator. It possesses an extraordinary immune system that neutralizes the lethal effects of neurotoxins from Kenya's cobras and adders. After receiving a massive dose of venom, the badger enters a temporary lethargy only to wake up later and devour its reptilian attacker. Its volatile temperament leads it to challenge prides of hyenas and leopards, using fierce bellows and an unwavering war stance. The mechanical strength of its jaws generates a power of 400 newtons, capable of crushing a turtle's shell in a few seconds. Relative to its weight of barely 12 kilograms, its tactical aggressiveness places it as the bravest animal recorded by modern science. It reaches speeds of 30 kilometers per hour to pursue prey or to charge against enemies 4 times its physical size. As a keystone species, the honey badger regulates populations of venomous snakes, maintaining biological balance in the heart of the savanna. The rattle remains the indomitable warrior of the plains, the small titan that reigns with legendary courage under the eternal sun. Beneath the murky waters of the Mara River, the Nile crocodile waits motionless as thousands of wildebeests approach the shore during the Great Migration. Its scientific name is Crocodilus niloticus, one of Africa's largest and most dangerous predatory reptiles. Some huge males can exceed 5 meters in length and remain hidden underwater for long periods without being detected. Their eyes and nostrils remain above the surface, allowing them to watch prey while the rest of the body disappears into the dark river. During the migration, wildebeests must cross the Mara to reach new grazing areas, though every entry into the water can become a deadly trap. The crocodile detects vibrations and desperate movements as the herd begins to plunge into the river amidst foam and mud. It remains motionless under the current, slowly approaching until hidden among legs, waves, and moving bodies. When a wildebeest loses its balance in deep water, the crocodile emerges violently and closes its jaws around the prey. The hunt ends in seconds because within the river, the strength and weight of the crocodile turn the current into a deadly weapon. In the Mara, the Nile crocodile does not need to chase for long distances. It is enough for it to wait underwater until the migration comes to it. On the infinite plains of the Serengeti and the Masai Mara, Africa's most powerful biological engine emerges, the blue wildebeest. Conocaetes taurinus is the protagonist of the great journey, an odyssey of survival that mobilizes more than 1 million individuals each year. This sovereign of distances travels more than 1,000 kilometers, following the mystical trail of the rains and the scent of fresh pastures. With a weight reaching 250 kilograms, its physical structure is a mass of muscle and stamina designed for uninterrupted marching under the sun. The strength of the herd lies in its massive numbers, creating a thunder of thousands of hooves that resonates like a biological earthquake in the Savanna. The most critical moment of its existence occurs before the waters of the Mara River, a liquid border defended by scaled killers. Beneath the surface lurks the Nile crocodile, a 600-kilogram predator that waits with icy patience for the start of the massive crossing. Biological tension explodes when the first leader leaps into the abyss, dragging thousands of individuals into a cascade of flesh and panic. In the middle of the channel, the wildebeest fights against currents that displace thousands of liters of water per second, exhausting its mechanical energy reserves. The crocodile's attack is a lightning bolt of brute force, injecting a pressure of 22,000 newtons that fractures bones instantly. The water turns red under the 35 degrees Celsius sun as the herd sacrifices the weakest so the lineage can persist. Survivors who reach the other shore must immediately face the lions and leopards waiting in the tall grass. The wildebeest is the fundamental prey of the African food web, the massive source of protein that sustains all the sovereigns of the top. Their massive passing fertilizes the earth with tons of organic matter, guaranteeing the biological regeneration of Kenya's soils. They possess an infallible navigation instinct, capable of detecting storms at a distance of 50 kilometers through their finely tuned senses. unlike other herbivores. Their survival strategy is spatial flooding, where numbers exceed the capacity of predators. Each year, thousands of individuals perish in the river, providing a feast of nutrients for fish and scavengers in the aquatic ecosystem. This massive loss is not a failure, but a necessary biological sacrifice to maintain the dynamic balance of wild nature. The cycle of life in the savanna depends on the stamina of these nomads, the warriors who run eternally against oblivion. The wildebeest remains the beating heart of the migration, the indomitable spirit that flows like a tide of life in Africa. Without their presence, the Serengeti would become a sterile desert, silencing the roar of the lions and the majesty of the landscape. The persistence of this herd is the ultimate testimony to the will to live in one of the most demanding environments in the wild world. The destiny of the species is etched in its millennial roots, paths of blood and glory that cross the heart of the Black Continent. At the end of the day, under the shade of acacias, survivors rest, regaining strength for the next kilometer of their infinite journey. The wildebeest is the essence of absolute survival, the sovereign that reigns through constancy and the strength of numbers. In the golden plains of Kenya, a warrior of unmistakable design emerges, dominating the horizon with supreme visual authority, the equus quagga. Its coat of black and white stripes is a masterpiece of disruptive camouflage, designed to confuse the binocular vision of alpha predators. This social inhabitant lives in a state of perpetual vigilance, with mobile ears that act as high-precision biological radars in the savanna. The African lion watches from the gloom of the tall grass, but the zebra detects the electrical tension of danger before the attack begins. By grouping closely, the stripes of hundreds of individuals blend together, creating a massive optical illusion that nullifies the hunter's aim. Its ultimate weapon lies in its hind legs, capable of delivering a defensive kick with a mechanical force of 15,000 newtons. This massive impact is enough to fracture a lion's jaw or break a leopard's ribs almost instantaneously. In open ground, the zebra reaches a speed of 65 kilometers per hour, maintaining superior physical stamina in the long race for life. It possesses excellent social intelligence, recognizing every member of its family through microscopic variations in the patterns of their black stripes. As a keystone species, its selective grazing allows tender grass shoots to grow to feed other herbivores in the Kenyan ecosystem. Its robust physiology allows it to survive extreme climates where the soil temperature exceeds 45 degrees Celsius during the African midday. The zebra remains the guardian of the striped paths, the warrior of vigilance who reigns with elegance and power under the eternal sun. The cycle of life in the Masai Mara continues to vibrate thanks to the unbreakable resistance of this sovereign of untamed natural design. On the open horizons where courage defines destiny, the most formidable warrior of the Savanna emerges, the Cape buffalo. Sincarus Kafa is the sovereign of brute force and the only member of the Big Five that has never been domesticated by man. With a massive weight reaching 900 kilograms, its physical structure is a fortress of solid muscle protected by thick skin. Its most majestic feature is the frontal bone shield that joins the base of its horns, a natural armor designed to resist high-energy impacts. Unlike other herbivores, this giant does not rely on flight, but on the formation of a living wall, impregnable to predators. The African lion shows extreme caution in the presence of an alpha male, conscious that a tactical error will result in immediate tragedy. Despite its heavy appearance, the buffalo can charge with a lightning speed of 55 kilometers per hour, transforming into a projectile of flesh and bone. A single impact from its bone shield generates a mechanical force of thousands of newtons, capable of fracturing the ribs of an adult feline instantly. They possess unbreakable social loyalty, coming to the rescue of any injured member through a coordinated counteroffensive that drives away entire prides of lions. Their tactical intelligence includes a prodigious memory, recognizing past attackers to execute acts of collective defense with an iron will. It is nicknamed the Black Death due to its volatile temperament and its absolute refusal to surrender even when outnumbered. Its dark eyes and tuned sense of smell detect the chemical signature of danger from a great distance, keeping the herd in a state of perpetual biological vigilance. As a keystone species, it shapes the landscape through its massive consumption of mature grass, allowing young vegetation to sprout for the sustenance of others. Its heavy hooves aerate the savanna soil, facilitating rainwater filtration and the vitality of Kenya's biogeochemical cycles. The African buffalo remains the indomitable guardian of the plains, the sovereign that reigns through the strength of unity and absolute courage. In the sea of golden grass of the Masai Mara, an athlete of unmatched agility emerges, navigating between life and death, the Eudochus thomsoni. With a weight that barely reaches 30 kilograms, this small inhabitant is the energy engine that sustains Kenya's most extreme sprinters. Its light physiology is designed for instantaneous acceleration, allowing it to reach a speed of 80 kilometers per hour in open field. Vigilance is its ultimate shield, possessing lateral eyes that scan the horizon for the deadly stealth of the cheetah or leopard. In the middle of the plain, under the scorching 35 degrees Celsius sun, a female pulls away from the herd to fulfill her biological mission of giving birth. Birth is a moment of extreme vulnerability, where the chemical scent of the newborn attracts predators hidden in the gloom. In a matter of few minutes, the small calf must stand up using its trembling legs to integrate into the safety of the crowd. Upon detecting a threat, the herd uses the technique of stotting, jumping 2 meters vertically to demonstrate its physical stamina to the hunter. This visual signal warns the enemy that the chase will be a useless waste of energy against an animal with high-precision reflexes. During the escape, the gazelle makes sharp 90-degree turns using its reinforced joints to break the predator's impact trajectory. As a keystone species, its presence guarantees the flow of nutrients and the health of the grassland, maintaining the biological balance of the savanna. The Thompson's gazelle remains the swift spirit of the plains, the sovereign of agility that reigns under Kenya's infinite sky. On the golden horizon of Kenya, a figure of monumental proportions emerges, whose steps vibrate the very structure of the earth, the African elephant. Loxodonta africana is the undisputed sovereign of terrestrial ecosystems, holding the title of the largest and heaviest mammal to walk on planet Earth. With a weight that can reach 6,000 kilograms and a height of 4 meters, its physical presence is a declaration of absolute power and ancestral wisdom. This giant is the supreme architect of the savanna, a biological engineer that transforms the landscape with mechanical force unattainable for any other being. It uses its colossal mass to knock down trees and dense bushes, opening paths that function as biological highways for hundreds of smaller species. By fragmenting woody vegetation, the elephant allows sunlight to reach the ground, promoting the growth of fresh grasses for the great nomad herds. Its trunk is a marvel of evolution, possessing more than 150,000 muscle units that grant it surgical precision and a strength of 3,000 newtons. During extreme drought, the elephant acts as the guardian of water, using its ivory tusks and massive feet to dig wells in dry riverbeds. These artificial fountains of life provide the vital resource for lions, zebras, and birds, saving entire communities from extinction by dehydration. The social structure of the group is led by an experienced matriarch, whose biological memory stores maps of routes and wells across hundreds of kilometers. Within the herd, the care of elephant calves is a sacred collective mission, where every adult forms a shield of flesh and bone against any threat. Faced with the stealth of a lion pride, the giants huddle in a compact defensive formation, emitting low-frequency bellows that resonate like thunder. A single movement of their massive ears is a warning of power, capable of dissuading the boldest predators through a display of visual intimidation. Their tusks can reach a length of 2 meters, multifunctional tools used to defend their honor and manipulate the environment with unique mastery. It possesses prodigious intelligence, with a 5-kilogram brain that processes complex emotions and social bonds that last for decades of existence. An elephant consumes up to 300 kilograms of plant matter daily, processing the energy needed to sustain its massive heartbeat. As a keystone species, its biological health is the barometer of the Masai Mara's integrity, ensuring that the cycle of life continues under the African sun. Communication between herds is conducted through infrasound that travels through the ground, a network of invisible messages connecting giants in the immensity. The African elephant remains the eternal guardian of the land, the sovereign of will who protects the dynamic balance of wild nature. Its majesty is the heartbeat of the continent, a reminder that true power resides in the capacity to create life and protect the future under the stars. On the infinite horizons of the Masai Mara, a living tower emerges, watching over the kingdom from a perspective unattainable to any other being. The Masai giraffe, scientifically known as Giraffa tippleskirchi, is the tallest mammal on planet Earth, dominating Kenya's verticality with supreme authority. With a height that can reach 6 meters, this colossus of the clouds observes the world with a gaze of steel and majestic calm. Its 1,200-kilogram physical structure requires a massive 11-kilogram heart to pump hemoglobin-rich blood up to its high-altitude brain. It acts as the supreme sentinel of the savanna, possessing long-range binocular vision capable of detecting a lion's stealth from 1 kilometer away. Its privileged height allows it to emit silent visual signals, alerting zebras and antelopes to the proximity of predators hidden in the golden grass. Though it appears to be a peaceful inhabitant, it possesses the deadliest defensive weapon of the plains, a lightning kick with immense and unstoppable mechanical force. The impact of its hoof generates a pressure of 14,000 newtons, capable of decapitating a lion or fracturing a leopard's skull instantly. It uses its 50-centimeter prehensile tongue to navigate the thorns of acacias, extracting vital nutrients under the scorching 38°C sun. The giraffe's sleep is an act of extreme courage, sleeping barely 30 minutes a day in short periods so as not to lose its biological vigilance. Males establish their hierarchy through necking, hitting their necks with a force of hundreds of newtons to demonstrate their genetic vigor to the herd. The moment of drinking water is its greatest test of stamina, forcing it to spread its front legs and remain vulnerable to the shadow of the hyena. As a keystone species, it acts as a high-altitude gardener, regulating the growth of the forest canopy and maintaining the dynamic balance of Kenya's ecosystems. Habitat loss threatens to fragment its biological territory, transforming the sovereign of the clouds into a survivor fighting against time and extinction. The Masai giraffe remains the guardian of the African skies, the eternal spirit that reigns with a gaze of steel and an indomitable will. In the heart of the Rift Valley, where water mirrors reflect the African sky, one of nature's most majestic visions emerges: the lesser flamingo. Phoenicianaeus minor is the sovereign of color, transforming the shores of Lakes Bogoria and Nakuru into a vibrant tide of intense pink. Millions of individuals congregate in these biological sanctuaries, creating a cloud of feathers that looks like a glass painting under the Kenyan sun. With a height of 1 meter and a weight of barely 2 kilograms, its physical structure is a perfect combination of lightness and aerodynamic elegance. Its long, thin legs function as biological pillars, allowing it to navigate alkaline waters with absolute and sovereign grace. It possesses a specialized beak that acts as a high-precision hydrodynamic filter to extract microorganisms from mineral-saturated water. Its unique coloration comes from carotenoids present in spirulina, a microscopic algae that constitutes the energy engine of its existence. It inhabits caustic lakes where water pH reaches extreme levels, defying environmental chemistry under a 35 degrees Celsius sun. The skin on its legs is extremely resistant, acting as biological armor against salt corrosion and the thermal heat of the mud. The sight of thousands of flamingos performing a synchronized biological choreography is a testimony to the social harmony that reigns in the ecosystem. Taking flight, the flock reaches a speed of 50 kilometers per hour, stretching their necks and legs to dominate the blue horizon. As a keystone species, the flamingo regulates the algae population, maintaining chemical balance and the biological health of Kenya's alkaline lakes. Its presence is the barometer of the Rift Valley's vitality, indicating the purity of water resources in a land of extreme contrasts. Habitat loss and alteration of water levels threaten to fragment this pink kingdom, pushing the jewel of Kenya toward vulnerability. The flamingo remains the guardian of the crystal mirrors, the vibrant spirit that reigns where life dances on salt water. In the slow currents of Kenya's rivers, the most irritable and feared sovereign of fresh waters emerges, the common hippopotamus. Hippopotamus amphibius is a titan of epic dimensions, capable of reaching a massive weight of 3,000 kilograms. Though it appears to be a peaceful herbivore, it is Africa's most aggressive force of nature, protecting its aquatic territory with absolute ferocity. Its mouth is a weapon of mass destruction, capable of opening at a 150-degree angle to display 50-centimeter long canines. The hippo's jaw generates a mechanical force of 12,000 newtons, enough power to snap a Nile crocodile in half. Crocodiles, despite being alpha predators, maintain a safety distance of several meters, respecting the monarch of the currents. Any intruder invading its biological bubble underwater faces a lightning charge packed with tons of muscle and bone. Its 6-centimeter thick skin acts as armor against bites, secreting a reddish fluid that functions as a natural antibiotic. Despite its physical mass, it can run at a speed of 30 kilometers per hour, outrunning most humans on firm ground. At night, it emerges from the river to consume up to 40 kilograms of grass, processing the energy needed to maintain its fluvial sovereignty. As a keystone species, its movements and waste fertilize the riverbeds, maintaining the biological pulse of Kenya's aquatic ecosystems. The hippo remains the guardian of the mud abysses, the indomitable giant that reigns with steel jaws and an iron will. Above Kenya's infinite skies, the aerial patrol of biological recycling emerges, the sovereigns of decomposition. The white-backed vulture, known scientifically as Gyps africanus, is the most efficient scavenger of the African savanna. Alongside it, the butler eagle, or Pteranodon ecaudatus, patrols thermal currents with a gaze of steel and supreme aerial agility. These birds possess visual acuity 8 times superior to humans, allowing them to locate a biological trail from 5 kilometers away. At the end of a hunt, the winged shadows descend in elegant spirals, marking the place where life transforms into energy for the flock. At the Colosseum of the Carcass, a fierce competition for nutrients breaks out, where the robust beak exerts a mechanical force of 500 newtons. The vulture is capable of consuming 1 kilogram of meat in barely a minute, processing the protein needed for its flight stamina. Its immune system is a miracle of evolution, capable of annihilating lethal bacteria like anthrax in its high-acidity stomach. They possess a gastric pH close to 1, a massive chemical power that dissolves bones and tissues that other predators reject. This biological mission is vital for Kenya's health, as they act as the supreme cleaners that prevent the spread of epidemics. Tosha kapteptesa. The bateleur eagle uses its tactical skill to snatch meat fragments from the jaws of hyenas, demonstrating instinctive courage. In less than 30 minutes, a team of 50 vultures can reduce a 100-kilogram carcass to an inert skeleton under the tropical sun. As keystone species, they guarantee that the cycle of organic matter is completed, allowing the savanna soil to remain fertile. These raptors remain the guardians of biological balance, the watchers who reign in the blue void with infinite patience. The flight of the scavengers is the ultimate testimony that in nature nothing is wasted, and every death feeds a new beginning. The rhythm of Kenya is dictated by the eternal cycle of water, a geological heartbeat that transforms the savanna into a stage for life and death. When extreme drought reduces river flows, the 38 degrees Celsius sun forces large herds to congregate at the last waterholes. This massive concentration turns every riverbank into a biological coliseum, where the distance between hunter and prey is reduced to a few meters. Alpha predators like the lion and leopard take advantage of this vulnerability, executing hunting missions with a frequency and success that defines the height of the season. The Great Migration arrives like a tide of stamina, with more than 1 million wildebeests and zebras crossing the border from the Serengeti into the Masai Mara. This massive movement generates the largest feast on planet Earth, activating the mechanical force of Nile crocodiles at dangerous crossings. With the arrival of torrential rains, the sterile land is reborn, transforming into an ocean of green grass rich in nitrogen and phosphorus. Rain acts as the architect of abundance, dispersing animals across thousands of square kilometers of fertile plains for regeneration. Kenya's dynamic balance resides in this seasonal pulse, where scarcity and abundance rule the fate of the savanna's sovereigns. Every kilometer traveled under the scorching sun is a test of physical stamina, where biological error is paid with extinction under the predator's gaze. The Masai Mara remains the most demanding theatre of evolution in the world, a living laboratory where biodiversity shines in its maximum splendor. The Great Migration is the eternal testimony of the will to live, ensuring that the heart of Kenya continues to beat with indomitable force forever. In the heart of the Masai Mara, an ancestral culture emerges that has walked alongside great predators for centuries, the Masai people. Dressed in their intense red shukas, these sovereigns of the land symbolize resistance and pride in the African immensity. Their biological life revolves around cattle, wealth that defines their social status and their sacred connection with the Kenyan ecosystem. They share their territory with lions and elephants, maintaining a dynamic balance based on deep knowledge of animal behavior. The Masai warrior, or Moran, is the personification of courage, capable of facing dangers with barely an iron spear and an unbreakable will. Despite historical conflicts, they have developed ecological wisdom that allows coexistence between man and wild nature. Today, they lead community reserves that protect thousands of square kilometers, ensuring the biological future of Africa's fauna. Their presence is vital to mitigate human impact, acting as the guardians who maintain the integrity of the Masai Mara under the sun. The Masai are the bridge between millennial tradition and modern science, a key factor for the dynamic balance of the Savanna. The Masai people remain the vibrant soul of the plains, the eternal custodians who guarantee that the spirit of Kenya never goes out. The paradise of Kenya stands at a critical crossroads, where the majesty of the Savanna fights against the constant pressure of human expansion. Massive habitat loss fragments ancestral biological corridors, reducing the kingdom of the great predators to small islands of vegetation. Conflict between humans and wildlife intensifies as top-tier sovereigns cross invisible borders in search of biological sustenance. Climate change alters rain cycles, causing extreme droughts that exceed 40 degrees Celsius and exhaust vital water resources. Protecting the biological integrity of the Masai Mara is a supreme mission to ensure that the heartbeat of the lion and the cheetah does not stop. Modern science and satellite monitoring now allow the safeguarding of the most vulnerable species with mechanical precision never seen before in Africa. The future of the Savanna's sovereigns depends on our will to execute large-scale conservation plans in every square kilometre of land. Fostering peaceful coexistence between local communities and alpha predators is the only real shield against definitive biological extinction. Our responsibility is to preserve this legacy of untamed beauty so that future generations can witness the glory of pure nature under the sun. The Masai Mara remains the barometer of planet Earth's health, a sacred kingdom that demands our respect and eternal protection. Kenya's wild spirit will continue to vibrate on the horizon as long as humans learn to be the guardian and not the destroyer of life. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss our next content. Don't forget to share your thoughts with us through the comments section.